today's hottest. Lee Minutes Ho's 4-month-old twins, fans praise the cutest babies ever. What's causing a global meltdown of hearts today? Why are fans around the world declaring Lee Minutes Ho's twins the cutest babies ever to exist? Join red carpet revealed as we uncover the irresistible charm, never before seen photos, and the emotional reactions sweeping the internet. Let's dive in. Right now, the internet broke again, and this time, it wasn't because of a blockbuster role, a scandal, or a surprise album drop. It was because of two tiny beings, each barely the size of a pillow, in pastel blue, lying side by side in a sun-drenched room. No faces, no names, just two baby feet sticking out under soft blankets. But the caption said it all: 4 months of miracles, and the account it came from? None other than the king of Holly himself, Lee Minutes Ho. Fans had always known him as the charismatic actor, the romantic heartthrob, the global ambassador of K-dramas. But on this particular morning, the world saw something new, a glimpse of Lee Minutes Ho the father. The post came without warning, no teaser, no fanfare, no media heads up. Just an Instagram story uploaded in the early hours of the day, and within seconds, it ignited a global frenzy. Social media exploded. Twitter trended within minutes. Are these the cutest celebrity babies ever? Became the question echoing through every corner of the internet. Hashtags like Lee Min Ho twins, Mini Ho 1 and 2, and 4-month miracles shot to the top of trending lists worldwide. Even fans who hadn't been active in years resurfaced just to scream, in all caps, their joy, surprise, and emotional overwhelm. The photos weren't crystal clear. Lee had made sure to protect their privacy, but somehow, they carried more emotion than 1,000 professional portraits. The first photo showed two baby hands, barely the size of a plum, grasping his finger tightly. The second, back view of the twins lying in matching outfits, their heads covered in knit bonnets. No names were revealed. No full face shots. It only made it more magical. It was subtle, soft, intimate, and undeniably real. For months, fans had speculated. Whispers about Lee Minutes Ho's quiet family life had circulated since late last year, especially after reports of him taking a short hiatus and declining a few major roles. Some believed he was traveling. Others suspected personal reasons. But no one could have guessed this, that the K-drama icon had become a father of twins, and had somehow kept it entirely private. The response was instant and global. Indonesian fan accounts posted compilations of the photos set to emotional OSTs. Thai fans created digital illustrations imagining what the twins might look like. Vietnamese fan groups translated every word of the caption into local dialects, adding layers of cultural warmth. Across platforms, fans collectively swooned, laughed, and cried together. It wasn't just a celebrity post. It was a cultural moment. Fan from Brazil wrote, "I've loved Lee Minutes Ho for 10 years. I grew up watching him in Boys Over Flowers and The King, Eternal Monarch. Today I cried seeing him as a dad. It feels like watching your best friend start a new chapter." Another, from Canada, commented, "He didn't need to show faces. The way those babies are held, the way he captioned it, it's pure love. You can feel it." But this moment wasn't just about photos. It was about what they represented. In an industry where celebrity image is often meticulously curated and polished, Lee Minutes Ho's quiet reveal felt authentic, vulnerable, and human. It showed a side of him that fans had only imagined in interviews and daydreams, a side filled with tenderness, simplicity, and fatherhood. And then came the media storm. Within hours, news outlets across South Korea picked up the story. Dispatch, Naver, Soompi, Alkpop, and even international outlets like E! News, Vogue, and BBC ran headlines like, "Lee Minutes Ho introduces the world to his twins, sort of." Global heartthrob shares a glimpse of fatherhood. 4-month miracles melt the internet. Every major publication scrambled to gather details, gender, names, birth dates. But Lee's agency remained respectfully silent. A short statement was issued. Lee Minutes Ho is grateful for the love and support from fans around the world. He kindly asks for privacy for his family. "We appreciate your understanding." That was it. Short, gentle, but firm. And yet, The lack of details didn't matter. Fans weren't hungry for gossip or scandal. They were too busy celebrating the fact that their beloved actor had entered a new chapter, and that he chose to share even a glimpse of it with them. It felt like a gift, and they treated it with the reverence it deserved. In Seoul, outside his agency building, fans began placing small letters and plush toys with twin themes. One read, "To Minnie Ho number 1 and number 2, you've already changed the world, just by being born." In Los Angeles, a Korean cafe created a special twin latte named after the post, decorated with 2 tiny hearts on top. Meanwhile, in Manila, a fan-led charity drive raised funds for newborn supplies to donate to hospitals, in honor of the twins. This wasn't just celebrity worship, it was community, compassion, and joy manifesting globally. As for Lee Min-ho, longtime fans knew this side of him had always existed beneath the surface. He had spoken in previous interviews about wanting a family. In one 2017 Variety interview, he'd shared, "One day, I want to be the kind of father who is always present. Maybe not perfect, but fully there." That's the dream I haven't talked about much, but it's real. Now that dream was reality. And what struck fans most was how true to himself he remained. No press conference, no magazine exclusives, monetized content. Just quiet, heartfelt connection. Many fans also pointed out how his post set a new standard for celebrity parenting. In a world obsessed with oversharing, Min-ho had found the perfect balance, protective yet proud, distant yet intimate. Some even coined a new phrase, soft launch parenting. The subtle details of the photos became moments of analysis and affection. Fans zoomed in on the little socks one twin wore, tiny clouds embroidered near the ankle. Others noticed the matching blankets, one slightly wrinkled, the other perfectly folded, suggesting 2 very different personalities already forming. The way the light hit the frame, the calm stillness of the room, soft filters, everything painted a picture of quiet joy. Fan reactions ranged from emotional to comedic. One Twitter user wrote, "Can't believe I just cried over 2 baby feet. Thanks, Lee Min-ho." Another joked, "Plot twist, the twins are starring in a drama before we are." But there was also an overwhelming current of gratitude that Lee Min-ho trusted his audience enough to let them in, even if just for a moment. Gratitude that he didn't trade his most intimate joys for commercial deals. Gratitude that after all these years, still surprising them, not with a twist in a script, but with the real, raw tenderness of life. Even more fascinating is how this moment redefined Lee Min-ho's public image. For years, he had been the romantic lead, the charming CEO, the time-traveling king. But now, he was something more, a father. And while that might sound simple, in the world of celebrity, it's one of the most profound evolutions a public figure can undergo. The transition didn't come with fanfare, dramatic interviews, branded campaigns. It came with baby socks, twin bonnets. 4 simple words, 4 months of miracles. And just like that, Lee Min-ho added a new role to his already legendary resume, not one written in a script, but one that would define the next chapter of his life. As the buzz from Lee Min-ho's quiet but world-shaking post continued to ripple through the internet, it became clear that this wasn't just a moment, it was a cultural event. For days, timelines remained flooded with reposts, reaction videos, heartfelt letters from fans, and endless fan art of what the twins might look like one day. It was the rare kind of celebrity story that didn't rely on gossip or controversy, but on warmth, wonder, and the universal tenderness that babies so effortlessly bring. What started as 2 soft images became something much greater, a global celebration of new life, new beginnings, and a new side of a beloved icon. Across the globe, fans and media alike began to explore the significance of the post, not just the babies themselves, but what this gentle unveiling said about Lee Min-ho as a public figure, and what it meant for his legacy. At 36, after over a decade of dominating screens from Seoul to Sao Paulo, Lee had nothing left to prove. He had already conquered television, film, and fashion. Yet with one post, something even more meaningful, he connected. In South Korea, parenting forums lit up with discussions, not about gossip, but admiration. Mothers commented on how respectfully he introduced his children. Fathers praised his decision to protect their privacy. A father from Busan posted, "I've never been a fan of celebrities, but today I followed Lee Min-ho, for the kind of man he's shown he is." Cultural critics chimed in too. Professor Han Min-ju from Yonsei University was quoted in the Korea Herald, stating, "In a media-saturated age, the quiet, soft presentation of his twins offers a redefinition of fatherhood, not as performance, but as presence. It's deeply humanizing. And that's why it resonates." Meanwhile, Western outlets like Variety and The Guardian ran op-eds celebrating the post's emotional impact. One article titled Lee Min-ho's Soft Power, Fatherhood and the New Masculinity argued that his approach could serve as a blueprint for modern male celebrities navigating family and fame. The babies, though unnamed and unseen in full, became icons in their own right. Fans dubbed them Mini Hoa and B or Lil Monarchs, a nod to Lee's famous role in The King, Eternal Monarch. Fan-run accounts on Instagram and X began posting daily tributes, including imagined day-in-the-life sketches and matching outfit mock-ups. In a viral TikTok video with over 5 million views, a user tearfully exclaimed, "It's not just that he has kids, it's how he introduced them. Hype. No sponsors, no drama. Just love. Pure, quiet, beautiful love." The moment also sparked philanthropic movements. Within a week, fan clubs in 12 countries organized coordinated donations to newborn and maternity hospitals, under the campaign name 4 Months of Miracles. In Indonesia, fans sent 400 care packages to low-income mothers. In Thailand, blood donation events were held in honor of Lee Min-ho's twins. A Japanese fan base translated children's storybooks into Korean and donated them to libraries with a note that read, "For future Min-ho dreams." But as the public expressed their love and admiration, the man at the center of it all remained, as always, composed and out of the spotlight. No interviews, no reality show offers, no monetized content. The only hint of acknowledgement came a week later in a simple, uncaptioned photo posted to his story, 2 tiny socks on a drying line, swaying in the breeze. And with that, the world sighed again. What made the moment linger so powerfully was its emotional symmetry. For many fans, Lee Min-ho had entered their lives during their own formative years. He was their first K-drama crush, their comfort actor through high school heartbreaks and college stress. Watching him evolve into a father felt like growing up alongside him. "We're not just watching his dramas anymore," one fan wrote. "We're watching his life, and it's beautiful." Industry insiders also took note of the ripple effect. PR managers and agency heads quietly studied the response, realizing that the old playbook, staged family magazine shoots, exclusive media deals, might no longer be the gold standard. What fans want now is sincerity. They crave moments that feel real. That sincerity was perhaps best encapsulated in the second image he posted, the one showing the twins lying side by side, their backs to the camera, matching bunnies snug on their tiny heads. There was no flashy edit, no baby brand tagged, just warm light, soft colors, unmistakable intimacy of a father's gaze behind the lens. Psychologists noted that this simplicity was part of what made the post so effective. Dr. Karen Lee, a child development expert from UCLA, told The Atlantic, "What we saw wasn't just babies, we saw bonding." And because he didn't center himself in the frame, felt like he was inviting us in, not showing off. Fans also began reflecting on how Lee Min-ho had always hinted at this path. In multiple interviews over the past decade, he spoke of longing for a quiet life, away from flashing lights. He once said, "Acting is my job, being happy is my purpose." It seemed, in these tiny glimpses of fatherhood, he had found both. Meanwhile, fan theories bloomed. Would the twins ever appear in public? Would he write a children's book, release a lullaby album? Though most agreed, they'd be happy even if they never saw another photo. The moment had already given them enough to cherish for a lifetime. To cap off the wave of tributes, fans created a video montage titled 4 Months of Miracles, a love letter to Lee Min-ho, which compiled years of clips showing his growth from rising star to global icon. ending with the recent images of his children. The video quickly reached 1 million views and was subtitled in over 15 languages. One comment under the video summarized the collective emotion: "He gave us stories for years. Now we get to celebrate his real one. Minutes Ho." Though the public now knows he's a father, it's also understood that he's a fiercely protective one. There will likely be no baby endorsements, no interviews about parenting strategies, no matching family magazine covers. And that's what makes this moment feel even more sacred. It wasn't a marketing decision. It was love, unfiltered, unforced, unforgettable. What comes next for Lee Minutes Ho is anyone's guess. He's rumored to be reviewing new projects. Some speculate he'll step away from screen time to focus on family. Others hope for a heartfelt drama about fatherhood, inspired by his own journey. Whatever he chooses, it's already, not just for the actor, but for the man he's become. In an era dominated by curated content, Lee Minutes Ho reminded us that real connection doesn't need filters. Sometimes, it only takes a photo of baby feet and a few words written from the heart. And so, as the world continues to move fast, scream louder, and scroll endlessly, one soft voice remains unforgettable: 4 months of marriage.